Assalamu alaikum. When asked why they don't believe in God, atheists often say that they can't believe in a God that has caused so much evil. They give examples of natural disasters, diseases, and other things that people didn't cause. I really don't know how to respond, and I hope that you have a good answer I can give them to the following question. Does Allah cause evil? So, or if so, how can you believe in an evil God? Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We say that from the important concepts and techniques of arguing and debating in Islam and outside of Islam is the counter argument, the counter attack, or the counter punch, turning someone's knife against them. Someone attacks you, a mugger, the force that they come hurling and raging at you, instead of you using your own force or your own weapon, you just what? You turn their force against them. You turn their force against them. The aggression and the force that they use, you don't have to use that much energy, that much force, just a couple of simple motions and techniques, and you throw it back on them, and they damage themselves with their own aggression and with their own force. So the question itself can be flipped against them. It can be flipped against them. How do you know that there's evil? How do you know that something is evil? How do you know that there's a thing that is evil and good? Who gave you the ability to distinct or to differentiate and make a distinction between good and evil? How do you know what darkness is unless you actually physically saw light? So the fact that you know that something is bad or evil, that means that you saw, you experienced, and you enjoyed something that was good and positive. So if you have, then God doesn't exist because evil things happen. Do you ask that question? Do you bring up that doubt when you enjoy good things? Atheists don't. So they're shooting themselves with their own bullets. God gave you the ability to think and to determine. So the good in the earth allows you to realize that there's bad in the earth. And the bad in the earth allows you to determine and realize that there's good in the earth. So we say that you need to answer that question first. That's first and foremost. Secondly, everything that happens in the earth isn't bad and isn't evil. Everyone isn't afflicted by natural disasters. There aren't tornadoes and hurricanes, tsunamis and earthquakes all over the world. From time to time, from place to place, not in every single place. People starving, people suffering, extreme gut-wrenching poverty, which does exist. But is every place like that? Is every city, every town, every village, every country, every continent? Or is the continent even starving as you see it on the television? So therefore, these doubts and these arguments that are brought up by atheists, many a times, they can be simply answered by just flicking it back on them. You answer those questions first, then we'll get into it. Does God exist because there are people that are starving? Does God exist, the people that are rich and wealthy? Does God exist when there's an earthquake? Or they say, where was God when this young child was raped? Where was God when this other young child was kept safe and wasn't raped and wasn't harmed and wasn't molested? So that's the way that I would answer this question, and it's very important for us to understand this technique. And it's not just something that's theoretical or hypothetical or just from the dunya, but it's in the Quran. Ibrahim alayhi salam, he used this technique. He used their onslaught against them. He says, rather the big idol did it. He says the largest idol, he broke the smaller idols. Ask those idols if they can truly speak. Those mushrikun, they clearly said, indeed, you know, Abraham, ha'ulai, these things, these idols, they don't talk. La yantikun. So if you know that they don't talk, they can't move, they're inanimate objects, how can you worship them? So Ibrahim alayhi salam, he defeated them with his own intelligence, wisdom, and cunning counter attack. So that is the answer to that question. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. That's in brief. There are many books that you can read, lectures that you can watch, websites and articles that you can visit and read and study with regards to having debates with atheists, talking with atheists, or even some of the doubts of the atheists. This isn't for every single Muslim, only for Muslims who have these skills, who have these talents and these abilities. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best.